What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all know what's going on. It's your man Uncanny, and we are back for another episode of the Connectz radio show. If you know me, you already know what I do. My job is to bring you the hottest and unsigned and independent hip hop and R&B, plus interviews with the brightest stars in the culture. You may not know them yet, but they are the brightest stars in the culture. That's what we're going to do here today. I'm bringing a very talented singer, a lady with a message in her music. Her name's KNika. KNika, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? How are you doing? It's so great to be on your show.
No, I appreciate you stopping by. You got an interesting word there, artivist. Talk to me about what that is exactly.
Yes, I am an artivist. I am a person that mixes activism with my art. And so I love to be able to draw attention to different societal issues that we are talking about behind the scenes and kind of let them show up in the music as a way to spark conversation, as a way to spark change, as a way to empower others to take action.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And there's so much music being produced now with no kind of vision and no kind of message behind it. So it's refreshing to kind of have that. Where'd you get that start? What kind of spawned that?
So, I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and I will say my entire life growing up, I've been very much invested into the community. Maybe it's just how my parents raised me. So I've always been active and showing up and opening up doors for others. And so as a songwriter, as a poet, really first and foremost, a lot of times I use my words in these different ways to kind of really talk about the things that are happening in my everyday community. And so that's kind of how I got the start. And so I love being able to, as Nina Simone once say, to talk about the times, to be able to allow for the things that are happening to us to be reflected in our music, so that there is just more diversity in some of the things that we as artists, or I as an artist, put forth.
For sure. And so kind of speaking on current and things that are affecting your community, you said you've been doing that forever. What led it to music? You started as a poet. How did you kind of get going as a singer or musician?
Yeah, it says, it's pretty interesting. I actually started in the hip hop space at first as a lyricist. I had a boyfriend at the time who was doing this thing, and as a poet, he was like, maybe you should take your poetry and flip it on music. And I had never thought about that, and then I started to do that. So I went to school at Temple University. So shout out to all my friends and alum from Temple, and I found myself being like a female, like a squad of hip hop heads, and I'd be squaring up and so that's really how I started performing any of my body of work. And so from there, I just continued to kind of dive a little bit further into music. I do have a musical background. So growing up, I was always in the theater space and singing in the choir and whatnot. So it was just like the next natural evolution for me. But it's been exciting to at this point, start working with other people in this space who are really singers and really songwriters and really studying the craft a lot more. And that's kind of gotten me to the space that I'm in right now.
No doubt. And in that space, I see you do some band work. Talk to me about the band?
Oh yeah, so I've been performing with an amazing band called the Upstarters. We genre surf, so a little bit of rock, a little bit of ska, a little bit of pop, a little bit of funk, soul, etc. And so again, just coming into the music space, that was like my official start. Really getting on top of stages and performing in front of all different types of audiences and playing around with different types of sounds and different type of music. And so I really do believe if I didn't have my start there, getting on small stages and large stages, then I wouldn't be ready for what I'm seeing right now.
Right. And so kind of that progression from small stages to large stages. Talk to us. Your bio lists some accomplishments there. What would you say is your favorite musical accomplishment thus far?
So I haven't hit probably my most favorite is coming up. I actually just got word that I'll be performing at the Congressional Black Caucus in another week. And so when I think about like the work that I'm doing in the Artivist space, this new single, It's My Body, and our next single will be rolling out called Respect Me. That is the place to be able to share my voice. But outside of that, I can honestly say some of the shows that the Upstarters and I have done here in the Delaware location called Ladybug Festival. So giving a shout out to them because they feature women artists, women who lead bands. And it's really hard to find shows where promoters are really gearing the entire stage to women in music. So they've always given us love. And then I also have to shout out Apollo Theater. For those people who remember Apollo, my first time performing like outside of the state was on Apollo, and to be able to get on that stage, not get booed, to be able to get, because New York cats are hard, was amazing. But yeah, I've had a chance to really perform with George Clinton and a series with Fantasia. I've opened up for Kim and Kindred the Family Soul. So it's been amazing just gracing the stages with those type of heavyweights and be able to again learn more about my craft and how to deliver a really great show.
No, that's awesome. And in doing so, are you still completely independent as a musical actor? Do you have label backing, management? How's that journey going?
So I'm still an independent artist. I'm working with a really awesome artist team, and they really help to develop our independent artists. So definitely a big shout out to Wealth Nation and Rockstar. And so, again, we're not pressed per se to get signed, but obviously it's really important to get the music out, to continue to build a really strong fan base. And I think as all independent artists, trying to make sure that we can bring in that budget so we can pull out more music. It's really hard when you're trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Talk about it. Talk about it. That is for sure. One thing that's definitely shaped kind of your sound and your presentation is your East Coast roots. Talk to me a lot about that, spending time on the East Coast and what the scene is like in the Baltimore, the DMV, that kind of Philly area.
Also, it's amazing. I mean, hey, there's some heavyweights themselves who've come out of Maryland. I mean, we still are hearing about Drew Hill doing their thing, and we have Monique, the comedian, the legends like Billie Holiday and UB Blake. So yeah, it's great to be in a space where there's so much hidden talent, and there's talent too that's not also hidden. But then also being so connected to DC, there's a whole other area of musical styles in DC. So I think any artist who's in this particular area of that DC, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Philly, really has a really great opportunity to be able to share and cultivate a really unique sound because the collaboration opportunities are off the chain.
No, that is for sure. I'm originally from Philly, so when you said Temple, all I could think was how were the cheesesteaks when you were there? That's
oh my goodness, how were the cheesesteaks? I know one thing, when I came back to Baltimore, I was searching every place to try to find that signature flavor. And it's not hard. I mean, it's hard to find that type of flavor any place else but Philly.
Yep, you are right about that. You are right about that. We're going to switch gears just a little bit because you gave us a little introduction to the single you brought for us today. Brand new video. We're going to debut it here on the show. Kind of talk to us about the single and the video.
Oh, yes, for sure. So the song is called It's My Body. It was written actually a year before Roe v. Wade was overturned. This song specifically serves as an anthem for women's rights, talking about bodily autonomy and really emphasizing that every woman should have the right to make choices about her own body without governmental interference. The song also really talks about other societal issues that are pressing right now. And, we're really, talking about like, hey, there's laws passed about my body as a woman, but yet we're still trying to get laws passed to protect us from gun violence. Again, it's a hot topic. We were just talking about, that horrible shooting that happened in Georgia at a high school on yesterday. So gun violence is still real. We're seeing how poverty is still affecting so many of us on a daily basis in our areas. Climate change is an issue. And for those who don't know, the right to vote is still a right that we don't have. So this song talks about that. The video, which I think is an amazing piece of work, not because of the fact that it's, my video, but the footage is actually live camera footage from my iPhone that was taken 2 days after Roe v. Wade was overturned. So we were in DC in front of the Supreme Court. And so with that type of energy that was there, you can't bring in actors to replicate women and the men who were also there, advocating for policies to be reversed and really upset at the same time. And so we were able to work with a really talented young filmmaker who's out of the Washington, D.C. area, but in Atlanta, doing a lot of work with musicians. And just so happened, he came home for the weekend, the same week that we got this footage in Washington, D.C. And he said, I'm coming in and I believe in, the cause. I believe in women's rights, and I'm here to help you shoot the rest of the video. So it was a combination of, indoor shots and live footage. And I think it's a very powerful piece of work that explains to the power of a woman's choice to choose.
Nice. So is the backtracking from your band, or was this like a producer production?
So this is a producer production. So the
Okay.
producer in this one was John J.G. Gordon, also executive YK. It's an Afrobeat flavor, which I love so much because it kind of brings it home to give you this vibe that you can dance to, but yet give you lyrics that you can listen to.
There you go. That's a dope intro. Vibes you can dance to, lyrics you can listen to. Here it is. This is KNika. It's my body right here on the Connectz radio show.
You took a man and made him a slave with a law. And you came to America and slaughtered the natives with a law. And we put Japanese Americans into camps, wasn't there a law? Now it's my body you wanna try to control. There's a man who's burning the oil, where are the laws? There's a man who wants all the power, changing the laws. And we're chopping down trees and killing the planet. Where are the laws? Don't use my body for your political cause. Cause it's my body, my body, my body, my body. Hey, and ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do with my body. I said it's my body, my body, my body, my body. Hey, and ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do with my body. You wanna take away my right to choose with a law. You wanna silence me cause you don't like my point of view. Oh no. You wanna turn Americans into enemies with a law. Don't use my body to feed your needs. You haven't done a thing about poverty. Oh, you haven't done a thing about gun violence. And you haven't done nothing to protect my right to vote. Hands off my body. It's not yours. Cause it's my body. My body, my body, my body. Hey, and ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do with my body. I said it's my body. My body, my body, my body. Hey, and ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do with my body. You wake up and you change your mind, you change your mind. Do I have to change mine too? If you change your mind, I shouldn't change mine just to beat your point on me. You wake up and you change your mind, you change your mind. Do I have to change mine too? If you change your mind, I shouldn't change mine just to meet your point on you. Hey, it's my body, it's my body, it's my voice, it's my future, it's my choice, it's my body, it's my body, oh, it's my voice, my future, it's my choice, spins off my body. And ain't nobody gonna tell us what to do with my body.
You were right. That is an undeniable energy. You could not have replicated what you just produced there for that video, and it's very powerful. And the messaging is so on time. When you deliver those kind of messages, it has to invoke different responses from people. Talk to me about how polarizing those kind of messages are.
Yes, and thank you for airing the video. So I will say that I've been very fortunate thus far to have positive responses. Again, this song is not really talking about pro this or pro that. That is not
Right.
what's, the coming up. What we are talking about is undeniably that a woman should have a right to choose what to do with her body, whatever that decision may be. I will say that, there have been a few people who say, well, maybe coming out with this as your first single wouldn't be the best decision to make, because after all, people don't really like to listen to songs that have this message in it, and especially a message like this. And so I had to, think about my purpose as an artist. Is it to just try to be famous and get hits on social media, whether they're good hits or bad hits? Or is my job also to, as an artivist, put out material that's going to allow for us to have a conversation and that could spark or empower change. And so I felt as though that with what was happening in the background, that this topic and these topics are too important to just worry about the hits, to be famous or to be likable. There's been maybe one or two people who said, hey, I can't work on your campaign marketing wise because I don't believe in the message in that song. And that's fine. Right. And I do believe like in today's space where everybody has freedom of voice and using their voice how they want to, that the right tribe will find me as I will find it. And with that, it is what it is. You know, people are going to like me for this and not like me for that. And that's fine as well, too. At the end of the day, we all have moms, grandmas, maybe some aunts. And because of that, these issues that come up affects our everyday as women lives. And so I think it's not robbery to talk about it.
No, and it's not. As a father, I actually have daughters. And so these are very important topics and things that as they kind of move into these this high school age and beyond that are very relevant topics to talk about in my household between me, my wife, my daughters. So no, it is nice to hear that the other way, because a lot of what we get from mainstream music is not that. A lot of what we get from mainstream music, the messaging is very different than that. So I applaud and appreciate what you bring to the table. And it's catchy. It's not like you're just out here. It's catchy. So no, it's dope. I appreciate what you are bringing musically, sonically to the game. It's needed. You know what I mean? It's definitely needed. And we want you to know that it is appreciated on this end. So what are your plans? You know, it's 2024. Obviously, we're moving into September, October. What you got planned? You touring? You just said you were going to be at the Black Caucus. Where's that at?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So it takes place next Friday for people who are in the area, because you can still come out. It's free to the public. So yeah, we're getting, we're trying to figure out what are the next steps. And I say figure out because we have another crazy single that we're about to roll out called Respect Me. Okay. Another song that was kind of written before our times. It was really talking about women and really championing all the wonderful things that we do in the space. We give a big shout out to the VP, and now that VP says she's running for president. And so not to get too political there, but this particular song is really just showing that women can do anything, including becoming a president. So we're about to roll out that particular song called Respect Me. We're getting ready to get teed up for the release of an EP. And yes, we are still trying to figure out where could be some additional show opportunities to get us prepped for a tour. So yeah, lots of exciting things that are in the work. And so we're just very grateful for the opportunities like today to be able to share the song.
No, for sure. The EP, how many songs? What's it looking like? Is that going to be you with producers or you with the band? What's that looking like?
So it's me with a lot of different producers, and producers that are here from, Baltimore, some of them from DC, some of them from other states in the US, and then a few who are overseas by way of the UK and also Nigeria. So we have lots of songs in the catalog. I would say as an artist, I'm a genre bender, as I kind of mentioned before. So this particular project, I would say it has a feel like a Dua Lipa by way of a lot of dance tracks. You definitely have your standard pop. You have a little bit of rock edge that kind of maybe feel like a little bit like a Pink. You have like your R&B cuts that maybe are like a Money Long or maybe Coco Jones. So we're excited to really, share this type of product that, again, shows an artist that can do a little bit more than just the same old that sometimes we're told as singers and songwriters that we have to do. And so we have lots of songs. So we're thinking about doing a listening session to figure out like how many songs should be on the EP. But I think that's a good problem to have. Again, as a songwriter, love writing. And so with that, if there's anybody listening who's a great and awesome producer or even a songwriter, would love to collaborate, because that's what makes this thing really fun, is meeting other people and learning different styles that you can push out there for people to hear.
For sure. Where are you doing the bulk of your recording at? I see you in studio right now. Is that kind of your home studio?
This is my place. I got a full studio in the basement of my home. Nice. And so I'm probably a little bit spoiled in that I had to learn how to become my own engineer. So a lot of times I'll come in and record myself. And then from there, we'll work with another team of people who serve as a recording engineer, vocal producers and producers. And that's how we kind of craft our sound. So it's a very wonderful, intimate space to be able to try out new things.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then, having that and then, like you said, kind of that ability to be creative and kind of do what you want in your studio definitely, gives you the best product. You're not really pressed for time or cost. I know studios tend to cost a whole bunch of money and you can't really be in there playing around. So
oh, not at all. Yeah, not at all. And and as a singer, I now respect the recording engineer a lot more. I think we as singers like, okay, not that take, let me try again. And we don't realize that pushing that record button is a lot of work when you're doing all these takes. You don't want to be sitting there as an engineer listening to all that crap. It's like, come on, let's get it done. So yeah, I definitely have a new appreciation for all of those folk who are part of the project, because for us as singers, we just have that. I mean, it's an important part, but it's what them guys and girls do when they get on them consoles to mix that thing together and make it jump out of like your speakers. That really gives us a chance to be heard in a greater way. So I'm appreciative.
That's awesome. And again, some of the overlooked parts of the business and the nuances. If you were talking to artists, if you were talking to entertainers, if you were talking to creators, and you had one bit of advice you would give to them, what would it be?
Save your money.
That's the one.
No, it's expensive, but no, like I would say, save your money, but really come in this thing being truthful to yourself about what you want to do. I think I spent a period of time just trying to conform to all these different people say, oh, you got to do this to make it. You got to do that to get on that stage. And at the end of the day, you realize that doesn't work. Like everybody's method to getting there is something different, like to thy own self be true. And so I think if you're true, you stick to your grind, you save up your dollars, you make right choices and listen to yourself and how you should, project yourself, you'll get a lot further than just trying to be like somebody else. So.
Right. No, that's dope. That's a good one. Save your money and be you. Those are two great bits of advice. So if I'm looking for KNika and I want to collaborate with you and I want to send you some tracks or offer some, you know what I mean? How would I link with you? Where would I find you?
So you can hit me up on my website, KNikaMusic.com, and that's spelled KNIKA music.com. I'm also the same handle across all the social media, so Facebook, IG, etc. So KNIKA music. And then when you get to my website in particular, I mean, you of course can DM me any place, but on my website, there will be a little box that says, hey, let's become friends. Give me your name, give me your information. I always tell people, I'm not trying to spam you. I'm not going to give you 1,000,001 emails to purchase 1,000,001 things, but it really is to connect. And so as us independent artists have to stick together, our connection is what allows for us to be successful in this hard industry. So let's become friends. Send me your information. I'll respond back. And let's make some magic happen.
There you go. That's how y'all do it, fans, friends, family. You know what I mean? Check in with KNika on the site. Last question that I have is, as an Artivist, did you already get that trademark? Because that's really slick, and you should probably do that before somebody else jumps on. Is that original, or did you hear that somewhere?
No, it's not original. I've heard it someplace else. And so for those people who are like music connoisseurs, other artists in the space would be like a Nina Simone, would be like a Marvin Gaye, would be like a Stevie Wonder. And for those who go roll back in musical theater, Paul Robeson, look him up. But there's others like us who are in this space. And it's not just music, it's in all art forms that a person would show up to use their voice for change.
No, that's dope. Somebody got to get the t-shirts out. That's all I'm saying.
I know, right? Okay. Don't be sharing my marketing stuff out like that. Come on, Uncanny.
Nah, I wouldn't do that. Nah, this was a dope interview, and I appreciate your time. We are tapped in. I'm definitely going to keep my eyes and ears open to see what you have coming next. We appreciate you. And is there anything you want to leave with the people? Any shout outs before you go?
So shout outs to my entire team, definitely John J.G. Gordon, who always makes this thing happen, to the best vocal coach out there, Conrad Robinson, to the best management team, Wealth Nation, Rockstar, you know who you are. And then for you, the real Uncanny, and for just giving me the opportunity to be on your show. And to every other independent artist that's out there, keep on grinding, keep on pushing, know that when it's your time, it's definitely going to come, but just don't give up on yourself before that time happens.
There it is, man. Make sure you guys tap in with KNika. Keep your eyes and ears open. KNika Music on everything.
Yes, KNika Music.
All right. Y'all know what it is, man. That's what we do here on the Connectz radio shows. We bring y'all the dopest, the hottest, the livest, and unsigned independent hip hop and R&B. We'll be back next week with some more of these dope live interviews. Stay tuned. Remember, every episode is powered by bettersblog.com, getyourbuzzup.com, Midwest mixtapes.com, reasonforrap.com, straightofficial.com, the Fleet DJs are the homies, the Nerve DJs are the big homies, and of course the MidwestConnectz. If you ain't connected, you ain't respected, man. We'll catch y'all next week for some more of this dope.